So I've been thinking to myself, what had really pushed me to make this journey and do this YouTube thing? I've been thinking about it for the longest time. But I'm like, what really made me want to do it? And I think it's probably the fact that I've been reading some books or listening to some books, combination of. And I think it was probably Shonda Rhimes' book, The Year of Yes, where she just, instead of saying no to everything, she just started saying yes to everything. I think that made a huge impact on me because I've been wanting to do this, but I'm like, I never had the true, all my fears kind of got in the way. Let me just say that. And I think that book truly helped me say yes to doing YouTube. I think books influence us, and what we put in our ears and our minds and our sight really influence us and how we do things. And I will say, listening to her book truly helped me a ton. I try to be mindful with all of the time that I have, and I commute every day to work. So with me commuting in the morning, I try to listen to the radio, but at least on the way home, I'm like, I could learn a whole nother language. There's so many things I could do with that precious time of mine as I drive home. And one thing I've decided to do is I listen to audiobooks. And so some are for fun, some are for educating my mind, but they have just truly been helpful. Another book I feel like was very impactful for me was Lovely One by Ketanji Brown Jackson. Her book was super long, but it was amazing. Before I knew it, I found myself every time, because I would only sometimes listen when I got in the car, if I was cleaning or doing something like that. I found myself getting so excited to go get in the car. It's like, oh, I've already listened to the book some more. I already listened to the book. I mean, her life was just a true testament. And then seeing where we had parallels, I found that amazing. But anyways, so what books have truly affected you, or do you not listen? Because I feel like there's a lot in books. Listening to books are pivotal. It's funny because this year I don't take my kids. I don't drive my kids anymore to school. They go to school close to home now. And since they're not with me every day, and I'm like, well, what do you guys miss the most about, not going to school with me every day? And they're like, we miss the stories. And so, yes, I can do the stories at home at a different time, which I try to incorporate, but that was like our set time. Like, there was no devices. I wasn't letting them do all that. We were learning, we did the Bible. Like, there's so many different things we did, which was amazing. And in the kids' eyes, and the kids were just super excited. And we just tried to find different ways where we could apply things to our life. We did the boxcar kids. Oh God, they love that. But so they completely miss that. That's one thing that my kids are like, oh, now they got a short commute, and they're like, my husband's like, well, I could do it, but it's not enough time. I'm like, yeah, because we have plenty of time for them to listen. But are you intentional with your time and how you spend it? And what's the last book you've read or listened to? With that being said, have an amazing day. So another book I really want to get into. I've been wanting to write a book, but this book right here, I got it on sale. It's A Mother's Life. I Want to Know Everything About You. So in this book, I plan to try to fill it out so my kids can know all about me, and things that maybe I might not want to tell them now, or things I might completely forget along the line. I plan to fill this out. So it's one way to journal, but I think it's a good something for me to leave with my kids. You have something like this that maybe you're working on to do? It's got introduction, family history, childhood, family traditions, memorable people, wisdom. And it's funny because I think about before my grandma passed away, I said, Grandma, we're going to write a book. And she's like, oh, whatever. And this is one book I wish I would have found prior to her passing, and we could have done it. I did get one for my mom. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check in on my mom today to see if she started writing in her book, because I think it's a amazing tool to have. And you know, there's always those whys when somebody's passed. And even another thing you might want to put in here is like maybe favorite family recipes, because a lot of times when people pass away, that like the one thing that they truly miss that they can't get back sometimes unless somebody picked it up are recipes. Like, you know, that recipe that they're like, oh no, nobody's gonna get this. And if you have those recipes, then you can at least still have the taste of them in your memory. But anyways, that's that.